The spectacular 8 Chifley Square in Sydney's CBD has been designed by UK firm Rogers Stirk Harbour and Partners in association with Sydney practice Lipman. The 30-storey building is immediately noticeable for the extruded steel supporting columns painted in bright red. Then there's the awe-inspiring all-glass lobby made possible by lifting the office floors 6 storeys above street level. Finally, there's the 7 north-facing vertical villages, drawing light and sensational views into the office floors. Now, most workplaces are squeezed into a box called the building. But every now and then, the workplace and the building work together. And this building at 8 Chifley Square is a really good example of that. So I've come here to look at the workplace of leading legal firm Corrs Chambers Westgarth to see how they've responded to this building and how the workplace designers, Bates Smart, have worked hand in glove with the building itself. And not just that, but to look at this amazing story of how a firm of lawyers has completely changed its own workplace culture.
I'm on my way up to Corrs Level 17 client reception floor, which sits in the middle of the 4-storey central village atrium linked by an internal stair.
This expansive yet elegantly restrained space, designed by Bates Smart, immediately signals that we are a long way away from the stuffy, traditional legal office. I asked Corrs partner Stephen Price what motivated such a radical change in the way they worked.
Well, we realised that the law firm design of the future was probably going to involve something involving what we would call open plan or activity-based work, and we wanted to actually then, bite the bullet and do a design which would be optimising work for, say, 25, 30-year-olds in the future as opposed to 50-year-olds in 2000.
Now, what significance do you think being a legal firm had for this cultural shift?
The 3 things are key as far as I was concerned. One was knowledge transfer. That's very important in a law firm, particularly in relation to mentoring. The second thing is flexibility in the way you will work. There's different ways of working, of course, intensive thinking work and also then less intensive team-based. And then speaking of team-based, the third thing was really in relation to collaboration between teams and within teams. So those 3 things are very important within a law firm, and with technology and a smarter workplace design, you could meet those.
This is a building which engages with its external context. It embraces the city of Sydney, from the buildings themselves to the harbour. At the same time, it is a part of the city and brings the city inside. The interiors also reference the external form of the building, often in quite subtle ways, from red accents to sculptural objects, even to the furnishings. I asked Simon Swaney from Architects Bates Smart about how the interiors related to the external form of the building.
I'm pleased you say that, Paul. I think one of our goals from the outset is obviously and our intention is to install an interior that belongs to the building, not to try and confront the original architecture. I think the Rogers Lipman building is a very tough building. It's very much in the stable of Rogers buildings, being very structurally expressive. It's tough materials. It's concrete and steel. So we wanted to work with that, but equally we're dealing with a client who needed a sense of humanity. So we've taken the geometry of the base building, the diagonal forms, it has been used in a number of ways through the fit-out. We've tried to expose those elements of the building that are visible from within, and really to celebrate the strength of this architecture. But to that, I'd like to think that we've added a layer of humanity. So through materiality, through texture, and through detail, there's a much greater softness than the base building provides.
Oh, the building was huge. It was really the enabler in a number of ways. One, it's a quality piece of architecture. So we really it was important for us then to put a quality fit out which married that workplace. Married that building, if you like. In other words, didn't fight against it. So there's a lot of glass, it's open, so what we put inside had to be open as well and embrace the light rather than closing it off with offices. The second thing is the building has small floor plates, as you would have seen, and a series of vertical villages. So you really weren't given a lot of choices what you would do in that. You really had to embrace the future because this was a futuristic building. It shows openness physically. I think it shows cleverness, and it shows collaborative, because we're actually saying to the clients, you can see us working, and we like that, and then you can come and work in amongst us because of this floor here is a floor which is shared between clients and staff.
Despite the open plan and despite the relatively small floor plates around the vertical villages, this workplace has a surprising sense of intimacy.
In terms of meeting their brief, what we've done is obviously it's an open plan arrangement, but what this building does is through its 3- and 4-storey vertical villages, as they're termed, and the 80 square metre atrium, which is very dramatic, is to interconnect each of the floors. So there's a visual connection that enables there being a sense of the whole. So whilst Corrs occupy 3 of these villages, within each of those villages there's great connection. In addition to that, as you would have seen, level 18 is their main cafe and entertaining floor. So that's used both by staff and clients. And it's a major attraction for staff to come to. Morning teas, lunch, breakfasts are all available on that level. So intentionally, it's given the best views, it's got wonderful outdoor terrace. It's meant that it actually brings the firm together, and those opportunities do occur. And I think that's in itself a celebration of the culture that they have. This opportunity for senior, junior personnel to meet, to incidentally have conversations, and that to me is part of the mentoring.
One of the features of the fit-out are the 400 custom-designed workstations manufactured by Unifor.
Our early discussions around this used to talk about first-class Etihad. So it is this idea of luxury, of very high-quality finishes, of something that is very much crafted to the task you have to perform. They are generous, they have significant personal storage, they're very high-quality timber tops. There's leather trimming, fabrics especially selected, and Unifor brought that whole package together as a very beautifully detailed, very specially made object. And obviously we see those as withstanding the whole length of this tenancy and more. So it is about something that's there for the long term, very high quality, and something that's quite unique in terms of the experience.
As I'm sure you know, the way to make these sort of places work well is having a variety of spaces. So you optimise the space just depending upon whether someone has to focus on their work, whether they're going to have a team meeting, or whether they're going to have medium intensity concentration. And all you do is then try and make sure there's enough of all of those spaces.
So, is it serendipity? Is it smart design? Or is it a stunning signal of where the workplace is heading? Certainly it's an intriguing example of a business, in this case a major law firm, completely rethinking the way it works. The building threw up the challenge, Corrs Chambers Westgarth took it up, and Bates Smart have responded with a workplace which would enable their client to adapt to a constantly changing environment.